Well, I was going to start with a story of when I said to my daughter, "When's Pi Day?" But I didn't think this was the right audience. So I'm going to tell you a story about foreign culture. I've done a lot of traveling over the years, and one of the things I learned is that you go to a conference and you arrive a few days early to beat jet lag by walking around during the daytime for a while. So I got invited to a conference in New Delhi, which is a long trip. It was the middle of a teaching semester, so I really couldn't take more than one day before the conference. So I picked my best item. Near New Delhi, I could take a train and go to see the Taj Mahal, as well as a number of other things. Now, my partner at the time got me a good deal on the train, which meant I was traveling with middle-class Indians, not good for a white academic from America. When I arrived, I was exhausted. I was really happy that someone met me at the airport. But on the way to the hotel, it was like the traffic was insane. I'd never seen such traffic in my life. You see cars jockeying, people honking, and a family of 4 on a Vespa snaking through the traffic. It's more than I could handle. It smelled. My Dharma studies friend back home said, yeah, basically New Delhi smells like curry and exhaust fumes. The crowd, the smells. Then we get to the hotel, and they do an under-the-carriage search of our car before we're let in. I get to the desk, and they run my rupees that I got at the Dulles exchange, and a third of them are counterfeit. So I've had a few rough times getting there. But the next morning, I'm going to be going to Delhi. But jet lag is funny because, well, as I talk to you now, the sun is rising in New Delhi. So when I got to New Delhi, it was night, but I'd been up all night to get there, and then had to get myself a night of sleep. So it was exhausting. I was completely wasted. Well, I get on the train, and it's the train station. You think Grand Central at rush hour is bad? You have no idea. It was overwhelming, the crowds. And Indians have different senses of body boundaries. So people are close to you all the time, they're touching all the time, and it's just unnerving. Well, we get to Taj Mahal, you enter this space that's clear, it's not crowded, because you paid money to go in there, and it's like a big park, and oh my God, the Taj Mahal is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I was in awe. The white marble shining against the blue sky. I mean, I wept. If you've only seen pictures of the Taj Mahal, you have no idea of the space, of the openness, of just how amazing it is. So I had this incredible experience. I was really glad I was there, really glad I had this experience in my life to share with other people and to remember. Well, then I head back, and the first thing that happens is I get on the train back, and I'm going through this incredibly crowded train station, and the beggars are just, this little girl, she's maybe 8 or 9 years old, is hanging on me, trying to get me to hold her hand, and it's only the policeman, when I'm going down to my platform, that peels her off me. So it's like the sense of bodily violations, constant. Well, I finally get back on the train. Well, of course, the train platform has rats on it, and my humiliation is even worse by seeing the Orient Express and seeing someone taking a shower in the car. Well, we're heading back, and if I'm going to make it through, I need to get a cup of coffee or something. So we stop at a place for drinks, and I make the big mistake of getting some iced coffee. Well, coffee's great. In Western culture, it probably led to the Enlightenment because you boil the water rather than mixing with alcohol. But I don't think the ice cubes had been boiled. Whew. So the next day, my Delhi belly starts to kick in about the time I'm supposed to give my paper. And I find a quiet bathroom, and I decide that I can just drain myself out just before my talk. And then I realize there's no toilet paper. There's a spigot and a hose. Well, I adapted, and after a while you realize the spigot and hose actually, once you are rinsed and dried off, you actually feel far fresher and cleaner than you would if you'd used an entire roll of toilet paper. So I survived that as well, and I learned to like some aspects of India. Everyone greets everyone else with namaste. namaste, which is a greeting I learned to use during COVID when you're not supposed to touch anyone. And you're in these hallways that have no adornment and just, pools of water, so that part is really nice. We get to the end of the conference, and I actually get to meet the Dalai Lama. I'm having a discussion with him sitting right next to me, and he's the most kindest, most compassionate, most peaceful man you've ever met. But I can't help it. I thought he was really handsy. And I'm a hugger, so it's not entirely me. It has something to do with body boundaries that don't translate very well.